The Prince of Peace, a beacon in a troubled world. Our world can feel like a pressure cooker of conflict. From international disputes to personal disagreements, we are surrounded by discord. Yet, in the midst of this turmoil, there is a beacon of hope: Jesus, the Prince of Peace. His life offers us a blueprint for navigating conflict, finding inner peace, and ultimately, building a more peaceful world. Peace. The very word evokes feelings of tranquility and serenity. It's the absence of war and violence for sure. But it's so much more than that. True peace, the kind Jesus offers, goes beyond the surface. It's a deep-seated sense of well-being that comes from knowing God and living in harmony with His will. The Bible defines peace as shalom in Hebrew, a word that encompasses wholeness, completeness, and well-being. It's a peace that transcends our circumstances, a peace that remains even in the midst of life's storms. Jesus confronts anger and hatred. Jesus, though the embodiment of peace, lived in a world rife with conflict. He encountered opposition, anger, and even violence throughout his ministry. One striking example is found in the Gospel of John, where Jesus encounters a group of men ready to stone a woman accused of adultery. Their faces were contorted with fury, their hearts hardened by judgment. They were ready to take a life, believing they were justified in doing so. This encounter laid bare the human capacity for anger, hatred, and violence. Yet, in this tense standoff, Jesus' response was astounding. Instead of condemning the woman, Jesus calmly challenged her accusers with these words: "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." One by one, the accusers, convicted by their own consciences, dropped their stones and walked away. Jesus then turned to the woman and offered her not condemnation, but forgiveness and a chance to start anew. In this powerful encounter, Jesus demonstrated that peace is not passive. It doesn't shy away from injustice or pretend conflict doesn't exist. True peace is active, courageous, and always seeks reconciliation. As followers of Jesus, we are called to be peacemakers. This means embracing His teachings and putting them into practice in our daily lives. We are called to be instruments of His peace, extending grace and forgiveness to those around us, even when it's difficult. From resolving conflicts in our families and workplaces, to advocating for justice and reconciliation in our communities and world, we can all play a part in building a more peaceful future. It starts with each of us choosing peace, extending grace, and living out the love that Jesus demonstrated. Throughout history, countless individuals have been inspired by Jesus' teachings to become peacemakers. Mahatma Gandhi, a devout Hindu, drew inspiration from the Sermon on the Mount, particularly the teachings on nonviolence and love for one's enemies. His nonviolent resistance movement ultimately led to India's independence from British rule. Another example is Martin Luther King Jr., a Baptist minister who echoed Jesus' message of love and forgiveness during the civil rights movement in the United States. He challenged the deeply ingrained system of segregation and racial injustice, leading to significant advancements in civil rights for African Americans. These leaders, though from different backgrounds and faiths, found common ground in the teachings of Jesus, the Prince of Peace. Their lives serve as powerful reminders that the pursuit of peace is not a futile endeavor, but a noble calling that can bring about real and lasting change.